Hi, Year 5. I'm just going to show you how to write your epilogue. So I'm just going to give this a title, actually, call it epilogue. Epilogue. So it's the ending of your story. You've ended your story, but it's kind of, not all stories have them, but I actually really love it when I'm reading a book and it has an epilogue. It's because I've finished the book and I'm thinking, oh no, it's ended. I wonder what happened to them in the end. Like, okay, so we know they escaped from the monster or whatever it is, but what happened 10 years later? What happened 20 years later? And an epilogue is really good at telling you that sort of information. It's telling you kind of what happened next. So I love epilogues. So I thought it'd be good if you wrote one as well, just like The Explorer had an epilogue. So in your Victorian stories that you have now finished, you're going to write your epilogue. Keep saying the word epilogue. Um, and I'm going to give you an example of how you might start that. So I've got some questions for you, which you should have in front of you as well. Who were your main characters in your story? So just reminding you, what is the important thing that people want to know about? So my main characters were Jack, and then at the end, Sally. And there was also a villain, but I don't think my villain's going to be in my epilogue. So I'm just going to put that in brackets. Okay. What sort of people were they? Well, what sort of person was Jack? Jack, he'd had a hard life, but wasn't very negative. Negative. So he often was looking forward to the future. He was trying to get somewhere. When he had a hard time, he escaped. When he came across the villain, he managed to, with the help of Sally, to get away from that. So he's always moving forward all the time. So I think his future will have been where he would have progressed it quite a lot. I think he wanted to learn. So what happened to them at the end of the story? They ended up living with Sally's cousin in the countryside. So, what could their lives be like now? Well, because he wanted to learn and because they're now in the countryside, I think he could have be living in a medium sized cottage with his wife, who I'm going to say is Sally. So, they actually got married in the end. Things like that happened in Victorian times. You know, they didn't necessarily get to know loads of different people and they got married very young and had children very young too. So, maybe they might even have children. And put question mark, they might have some children. Because he wanted to learn, I'm going to say that he owns some books. He learnt to read and he loves reading and owns some books. Maybe he's even written some books or something. I'm going to write a question mark with that. Written books. But this is what you'll do. So you think, who are my characters? What were they like? What do I want to happen to them after the story's finished? And so then I've started writing it. So I'm just going to bring that up. I was just hiding it from you. There we go. So let me just put this in a different colour so that we can see this is the actual me starting my story. So this is the start. Jack picked up his hat, looked around him at all of the books in his library, took a deep, satisfied sigh, and stepped out of the door towards his wife, Sally, who was waiting to go for their daily walk. So I've managed to sum up quite a few things there. I've got the books from my plan. He's picked up his hat. That's showing people used to wear hats a lot in Victorian times. And if he's going outside, he would definitely put a hat on. He's taken a deep, satisfied sigh. So that shows me that, or shows my reader that his life's turned out well. He's happy. And then he's married to Sally. So I've managed to encompass lots of those things just in one sentence. I would then carry on maybe to talk about where he lives, you know, where he's walking to. Maybe he's going to help the poor because he was once poor. So maybe the two of them, she was poor too, maybe the two of them go to help people that need help, people who are homeless like they were once, things like that. Maybe they've got children and we can say a bit about what they're doing. So it's just kind of tying up all the loose ends in a really nice way. And to help you do that, listen to the Explorer epilogue again. Obviously, it's a different sort of story, but the way that it pulls it all together, it brings the characters all back in. They're all meeting up and saying hi to each other. It's just a good example to help you. Okay, good luck.